Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 5th of January. Before we start with the ASX 200, I just want to point out there's some opportunity in the gold market for gold stocks. So obviously this is the gold chart for the daily. We'd been looking at this as a corrective pattern. And I did put a video out yesterday on this, but we were looking at this move up through here as 1 and 2 and 3 here. So we had a 3-wave move here, and that means that that could be corrective as an A, B, C here, and then drop from that point. But taking that top out here, as I mentioned yesterday, that would turn this into a bullish trend at that point. So that means that we're in a bullish trend now, and it also means that we can look at buying gold stocks as well. So you know, a lot of the gold stocks are on their low, but you can see we've got a clear sort of trend emerging here for this gold market. So that means that when we look at this is the trading levels charting program here, and this is NCM, so this is Newcrest Mining here. Let me just get that into the fold a little bit better than that. So in a nutshell here, we should have a low in here for this now. So we should see this push up from here. So, and you know, a lot of the other gold stocks as well. I won't go into all of them, but I'm just pointing out that gold stocks can push up from here based on US spot gold. And yeah, NCM here should lift off its low here. I can see from this correction here, well, I can see from this little move up here, I can see we've got 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 here for this, and then we've got this here, and then we've got another little 5 waves here. So there's a good chance we're going to be getting support on the 28 and pushing up higher here. Of course, we always need to be a little bit mindful, so the correction that the resistance would come in at the 30. So the 28 is going to be the 28 and the 30 is going to be the problem there. But look, I think it's worth getting in a small position on Newcrest and perhaps some other mining gold stocks as well at this point. Okay, so from that point, we're looking at the weekly chart here, and we're looking at a 5-wave move to the upside here. So we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and wave 4 here, and then pushing up for wave 5 here. So let's go in and have a look then. This is the weekly chart, so we'll go to the daily chart and then move in from that point now that we've got that. So from the low here, we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the thing here is that wave 4s can get a bit messy. There is a case for this to be finished at the moment, but we'll just need to be a bit mindful of that. So that wave 4 could be finished at this low here. That's what we'll look at next on the 4-hour chart. So yesterday I was looking for one more new low to come in here for this, but it wasn't the case. We've pushed up through here, and it does appear to be impulsive up there, but it's a little bit tricky to count. Also too, I mean, wave A is okay, wave B is okay. This wave C coming down through here, let's take a closer look at that. I mean, I can count 5 waves in it, but the problem is, and I would have done that yesterday, except that we had overlapping wave structures, so that's the reason I didn't do that. So we could look at it as 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 here, or 1 and 2 and all of the 3rd wave here. But this wave 4 here overlaps this structure here. So it hasn't really counted very nicely for all of this. And we know in the US markets that the move down in the US markets was in 5 waves, so we'll take a closer look at this. But just saying from the outset here, if this here as wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C, and this is fitting in there somewhere, then it's possible to have that wave 4 in there. So taking out that top there would obviously be the start of the trend to the upside at that point, okay? Obviously, that's a long way away from the current price, so we need to go in here and understand what's going on and see if we can get a better situation. But I do want to point out that this doesn't count very nicely as 5 waves down here, so that's a bit of a problem. It could be a B wave, so we could end up having an A wave here, then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for the B wave, and then moving down lower in a C wave here as well. So I'll just copy that text. So it's possible for this to pull back down even lower in this space here, so we just need to be mindful of that. And if that was going to be the case, then we would be looking at this here as wave 2 rally here, then wave 3, 4, and 5 coming down here. So we just really need to be careful about that. Let's just go into maybe the 15-minute chart or the tick chart here for this. I might just go to the tick chart. It'll just be a little bit easier to work through this. So this move up from the low here appears to be, well, it appears to be impulsive, but it's going to be taking me a little time to figure all this out within here. But it looks impulsive, but the problem is that this looks impulsive as well as 5 waves coming down here. So I'll just want to open that up a little bit further. So if we looked at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, then the third wave would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave here. Okay, so it's also counting as 5 waves down. So if that's the case, then we would look for a rally at this point here. So the rally would come in at in this space here. Just takes me a bit longer to work some of these tools and labeling on this new platform, so I just need to get familiar with it a bit before I can start dancing. But look, it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, then an ABC pattern here. So it looks like this would be 1 and 2 in here. Maybe there's another 1 and 2 in there, but and the third wave. So we'd be looking for a move up into this space, but then this could just be 5 waves down here, which counts quite nicely as 5 waves, and then the A wave, the B wave, and then the C wave up into this space, and then down again from here. So that's what we need to be careful about. So as I mentioned, we can go long above this top over here. We could also go long above this little top here. You'd need to keep, if that got breached here, wherever that low is, keep the stop under there. But this is the problem area here. So at the end of the day, before going long again, you would need this number over here to be to be the support at that point. It's just that, you know, when we're looking at where are we here? As this wave 3 here, you know, we know wave 4s can get complicated, so we're just not really out of the woods yet. We haven't really, I mean, if this was a nice 5 waves here, then possibly at that point, but it could certainly be a B wave at that point, making this a C wave here. So it just makes it a little bit tricky here. BHP in the US was up high. We're expecting those gold stocks to rally as well. So the resources can take the market higher, but we're just in a rock and a hard place here at the moment with this. So yeah, I'd like to think of it as an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then up for wave 1 and back for wave 2 here. But even in that case, you know, it's already pulled back down, you know, past the 61.8% or close to it. And we can count 5 waves down here. So even though we'd still see at minimum would see a move like this come into play here before seeing any move to the upside. So I don't think we can really go long here safely at this point. And also too in the US, if you watch the S&P video, we're looking at 5 waves down and then a 3-wave rally and also 5 down as well. So we're not out of the woods at this point. So as mentioned before, we can go long on 6680 as the support up in this space here. But otherwise we should really wait for this to play out here and wait for this to play out here. Otherwise we're just going to get trapped within that space. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for the time being. There's not much I can sort of add to that. We just don't have a clear pathway. I mean, it looks good as an A and a B and a C here, and up for 1 and back for 2 here, and then continuing up here. But this is just not counting right. This has got 5 waves down in it. So there's a couple of elements here that are suggesting that we've got a further move down into this space. So yeah, just a bit unfortunate. If it was a wave 2, we could move in on that, but because wave 2s are simple, but wave 4s can be complex. So this can certainly become more complex over here. And let's just also check as well. I think I checked yesterday, just from this wave 2 low here, the wave 4 can come lower. That's the 38.2% here. So it could come, technically it can come down to this point here before moving off up there. So that's what we've got to be concerned about at this point. So I just don't know. I don't have a clear pathway for this. I mean, I could see that the market coming down and sitting on the 6,500 and moving off from that point and may not make a new low below here and all the rest of it. That low and that low there have got nice supports in here now for this as well. So it may not even come back to this. And but we can only go long if it takes out that high here. So a little bit further off. But I think trading the gold stocks today will be the better bet for today, the better horse in the race, so to speak. Alrighty, cheers.